I started doing the Black Parent Teleconference in 2014. It's been almost 16 years. Excuse me, not 16. It's been almost 12 years, right? It's been almost 12 years. I ain't never heard of nothing like that. Woo! Go right ahead with your question.
Absolutely. So I'm newly married and I have...
Turn that volume up just a little bit. Your voice a little low, mama.
Okay, sorry. I'm newly married and I have a stepson who's on the spectrum. And
how old?
14.
Okay.
He's nonverbal. He's really sweet. What I wanted was essentially to meet with the mom so she can teach me her tactics on how to get him up and potty and everything like that. And I think I'm at a stage where the father and I were not looking eye to eye. I'm currently sleeping in the guest room due to the fact that we've had multiple potties in the master bedroom where, you know, he would come and lay with us. And I try to express that, hey, just go sleep with him in his room rather than ours. Because
wait, time out, Sister Bibiana. I just want to make sure I'm clear. Mm-hmm. Your husband is allowing his 14-year-old autistic son to come and sleep in y'all bed with y'all?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, and like for
what?
me, this is all new to me because he is nonverbal, and he is attached to his dad, so I didn't want to step on anyone's foot. But it's been accidents after accidents, and the mattress is completely soiled up. The mom doesn't want to help in a sense of meeting with me so she can teach me her tactics, and I'm just I feel alone and extremely annoyed.
And you say the mother is not meeting up with you to give you any insight?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure the behavior here is not allowed at the other house, and I just kind of wanted to know what her tactics are, how I can communicate. I've tried pretty much everything. I've asked for classes so I can better communicate or learn to communicate because this is all new to me.
And you and your husband have been together how long?
I want to say we're newly married. I want to say we're going on 3 months now.
Okay. And how long, because I know you guys were dating before that, how long has the son been in your life?
I want to say 3 months. 3 months.
Okay, about 3 months. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, how does your husband react? First of all, have you been honest about your feelings about this with your husband, and what has been his response to you? How does he react?
Very defensive. The first time when the incident happened, I had brought it up, and I just asked, hey, can I have my own space? Because this is all new to me. And, you know, I brought briefs and things to prevent accidents from happening and so forth. And so it's just, I'm met with, you know, you don't like him, you know, and I'm like, no, he's my son too. It's not that I don't like him. I just, you know, would like my own space, but also know how to, you know, manage certain things. We had an incident where I brought up that, you know, hey, there's in the pantry, he accidentally used the restroom there. And it was, oh, I'm going to blame the dog. And I'm like, we're not going to blame, you know, my dog. And I'm just always met with just defensive, or you just don't like him, or you're not trying to get to know him. And I just kind of stopped communicating altogether, because it's like if I try to positively reinforce anything, he gets extremely defensive. So I'm just
okay.
I've just kind of been I feel defeated.
Understood.
I don't know what to do.
And so he's actually urinating and defecating while he's in the bed with you too.
No, just urination.
Okay, urination. Okay, understood. So is there a reason he's not wearing pull-ups on a regular basis?
That's something I try to bring up, but I'm met with defensive. Oh, he uses the restroom perfectly fine throughout the day. And I'm just like, okay, cool.
Okay. The other question I have, do you feel, first of all, okay, he's autistic. It sounds like he's also intellectually disabled. Would you agree with that?
Yes, 100.
Okay, and would you put him at mild, moderate? I know you're not a psychologist, but based on your experience, would you put him at mild, moderate, or severe intellectually disabled?
Severe.
You would put him at severe. My next question, do you feel your husband has, out of his love and concern for his son, has he enabled that boy? And what I'm asking is, has your husband caused a significant developmental delay in his son by babying him and not challenging him to actually grow commensurate to his disability? Like, has he kind of crippled him somewhat? Because what you're describing to me sounds more like a 6 or 7-year-old, not a 14-year-old. So I'm kind of wondering, has the father, has he kind of sheltered his son to the point where he inhibited his growth and development?
I have to say 110% due to the fact that I know for a fact things that he does here, he does not do back home with the other parent.
Okay. So he's able to do more than what he's doing. The father is allowing him to do this.
110.
Did you know any of this going into the marriage?
No. I knew more of, I have a son and he's on the spectrum. And I'm like, okay, I want to take classes and learn and communicate. And, this is news to me. So, and I've not been met with classes or even a meeting as simple as with the mom and given any pointers. And I just, honestly just lost.
Okay. Well, number one, my first recommendation. Well, 14, he's still in school, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about school for a minute. Does he get bused to school? Do y'all drop him off? Does he have an IEP? Is he special ed? Tell me about the school situation.
So we do drop, well, not we, I've completely washed my hands with having to do with anything, but he does drop him off at school. The bus stop.
Any complaints from school at all?
No.
Okay, so that's not really an issue. So number one, I strongly recommend that you and the father go to counseling to deal with this situation, if you want to make this relationship work. Do you have any children in the home?
No.
Okay, no children yet. Okay. Were you planning on having some children?
I was, but at this moment, I don't think that it'd be a smart idea because even though he'd be present, I feel like I'd be a single mom because the focus would then go on to the child that needs it most, and I don't want to put any of my kids through it.
Understood. I'm going to ask you a question, and I don't want to sound offensive with this, but I'm just wondering your thoughts on it. Is it possible that your husband is using his son to force you to walk away without him telling you he don't want the marriage anymore? Is that a possibility? Because it seems like the father is making life quite uncomfortable for you. And it seems like the 14-year-old is his priority, because I don't understand why he's letting a 14-year-old sleep in the bed with his wife. That young man will be a grown man in a couple years. What is he doing in the bed with you? So I'm kind of wondering, is he intentionally making your life miserable? And if not, why does it seem like the son's needs are clearly more important than yours?
Yeah, that's how I feel. If that's the case, for me, I'm so drained. I'm so drained. I think I'd be content with it.
And I definitely believe in protecting marriage. I definitely believe in protecting marriage. But are you sure you want to continue with this if he doesn't make the recommended changes that will come from you two going to therapy? Are you sure you want to stay with this?
No, and that's, something that I've been pondering on for the last several days while I've been sleeping in the guest bedroom, due to the fact that,
You're sleeping in the guest bedroom?
Well, yeah, my bed is soiled up, so I'm not going to sleep on there.
Okay, but the father and son are still sleeping in your main bedroom?
Mm-hmm.
And you're in the guest bedroom?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you still there? Why are you still in that home at all?
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at this from the outside in, not to speak negatively of your husband, but if my daughter came to me with your story, I'm packing her shit up myself and she's moving out of there. You follow me? Like, this does not sound fair to you at all. You're 3 months in, and, you know, sometimes when we make a big decision, you know, we kind of don't want to consider the fact that it may have been the wrong decision. But I guess, is this your warning to cut your losses and leave the situation while you have a chance? Because if you get pregnant, you ain't going to be able to leave the situation really at that time. Not easily anyway. Mm-hmm. You know, I guess I'm wondering, why are you still there? Tell me why you still there.
I thought I was going to make it work. And I've always told myself my first marriage is my last marriage. Is just kind of how
I understand.
I grew up.
It's your first marriage and you want to stay there. Is it, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 28.
You still a young queen. I understand the whole thing about the first marriage is the last marriage. You should consult a divorce attorney, because if I'm not mistaken, and it's not my expertise, but in certain states, if you haven't been married a certain amount of time, you can naturally dissolve the union and it doesn't even count as a divorce. And you only been in this for 3 months. So you might want to look into the divorce laws in Florida and see if you even have to go through divorce proceedings. If you guys have only been together 90 days, who knows? You might find out that this thing could be dissolved, you know, before it even gets started, because you guys haven't been married long enough. But even if you do have to go through divorce proceedings, and I'm not urging you to get a divorce, right? Everybody has to make their own decisions. We don't give decisions, you know, in counseling. But at 28, you got your whole life ahead of you. I would hate for you to hang around another 10 years. Now you're 38 and most of your baby making years are behind you. And now that boy is 24, still pissing in your bed and shitting around the house at 24. Queen, I'm shocked you're still there. And I understand first marriage, last marriage, but this is an extenuating circumstance. But let me not put the cart before the horse. Let's do some therapy and see. Maybe the father feels ultimately guilty. Maybe the child been through some trauma. The father blames himself. You know, try to get some therapy. Just Google, you know, black counselors and psychologists in Florida. Florida is really big on black psychology, so you have no issue finding black psychologists there. But at 28 and your whole life ahead of you with no kids, you may have to consider cutting your losses and restarting, my queen.
Okay.
All right. My best to you, though. My best to you. If you ever need to do a one-on-one session with me, just text me and we can do that.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, now. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Wow. That may have been the wildest. Was that the wildest issue? I started doing the Black Parent Teleconference in 2014. I started doing the Black Parent Teleconference in 2014. It's been almost 16 years. Excuse me, not 16. It's been almost 12 years, right? It's been almost 12 years. I ain't never heard of nothing like that. Woo! Woo! Man, that is crazy. Sleeping in my bed man, ain't no Cinnabons worth that. Your call
has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're...
Ain't no Cinnabons worth that. Sisters, your son and your daughter ain't getting in my bed at 14, pissing my bed up. Ain't no Cinnabons worth that. Good morning, Sister Seisha. How's Oklahoma treating you?
Oh, good morning. It's going good. How are you doing?
All is well, my queen. Go right ahead with your question.
Okay, let me try to shut this door so these kids don't come in here. Okay, so I have 3 children, ages almost 9, 7, and my son who's 5-year-old, and he's on this autism on the spectrum, different levels. My son is level 2, so he's, I guess, technically nonverbal, but he communicates in his own little way. And I do what I can for him. But anyway, my question is...
Okay, go ahead. Which son? Which son are you speaking of? The 5, 7, and 9?
So my 2 daughters are almost 9, 7. They're on the spectrum and they go to school. And then I have my son who's 5.
Okay,
And
5-year-old son, 7-year-old daughter, 9-year-old daughter. Am I correct?
yes,
Okay.
yes. Okay, so my son, he was going to therapies here in Oklahoma, ABA therapies and all kind of stuff like that. And my daughters are in school right now. They were doing that too, but they're in school, so they're able to, be more independent. So my son, we moved to a different school district, to a different, city in Tulsa to try to get some more help. There's not a lot of help in Oklahoma for kids on the spectrum. And so he was in kindergarten. I pulled him out. I really wasn't getting any him to focus in school like he should. I mean, it's only kindergarten, but he really wasn't focused and, doing the things that he should. So I pulled him out so he can do ABA full-time. Didn't work out for him, so I'm having to put him back into school because, honestly, I quit my job in December. I was a mental health professional, and I just quit so I can take care of my kids full-time because they needed the support. And so when him not having any ABA help right now, and then, just pretty much any help at all, I can't get him back in therapy. So I got to kind of put him back in school because that's kind of all the help I can get right now. And I know that the school won't be able to, do a lot, but it's something. It's something.
Okay, time out for 1 second, my queen. You're in Tulsa,
okay.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Your son is 5.
Yes.
Okay. Is he at age for kindergarten or still a little young? Or is he age appropriate for Tulsa kindergarten right now?
Yes, so he is age appropriate to go to kindergarten, yes.
Okay, now you said you pulled him out, so your son has not yet been in the kindergarten classroom. Is that correct?
Okay, let me just give a little backstory. So the year before last, he went to pre-K, and it was an all-day, situation, and he did really well there. He was, doing all his work and everything, and then I put him in full-time ABA, full-time last year, so, and then over the summer too. So after that was done, I thought he was doing really well. I was like, as a mother, I was like, I think he's ready to go back into school. I think he can do part-time ABA, and then I think he can do part-time school. So I pulled him out, after the summer, after the school year started in August, and put him in school. Part-time ABA, part-time school. Home therapy wasn't working for us, so I was like, well, let me just leave him in school, and then maybe I can get him in a facility or something like that. It didn't work out like that. So it's pretty much like me, Dr.UMAR, me doing trial and error kind of things, just trying things out. So at this moment, right now, he's not in school, he's not in therapy. It's kind of hard to try to find him a facility. And I'm going to put him back in school, in kindergarten. But like I said, he's not really focused on there, but at least he's getting some kind of structure, being around kids and all that kind of thing.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Now, 5 is kind of young for me to ask this question, but as mom, you probably have a pretty good feel. Is your son purely autistic, or do you also feel he has intellectual limitations as well?
Okay, and that is a really great question. And my daughter got diagnosed at 2, so I kind of got a little, view on this.
Your daughter got classified with autism at 2?
Yeah, my daughter.
That was way too young. Now, do you feel she's definitively autistic at this time because she's older? Do you feel that she's because 2 years old, you cannot prove autism at 2?
I know, and you know what? When they did tell me that when she was 2, I was like, what? But then as time went on, I was like, okay. And then just a little more backstory. Their dad, when I'm not with their dad anymore. We were together 7 years, and by the time the relationship ended, I realized that he had some mental health problems himself. So I'm not saying that this.
Wait a minute, time out, my queen. I just want to clarify, and I'm not judging.
Okay.
So
no, it's okay.
It's okay. The father of your 3 children, they have the same father, right?
Yeah, all 3 of them have the same father. Yes.
So he gave you 3 children with autism, and then he left.
I'm not going to say that, Dr. Umar. I actually ended up leaving him.
Okay.
Because it was not a safe environment for my children, for myself, and anybody, and it wasn't going anywhere, honestly.
Understood.
So I took a decision to leave for me and my kids.
Understood. Okay.
Yes.
Now, let's get back to your son. I believe, because we're only in November, school started in August, September. I believe you need to get your son enrolled in kindergarten ASAP. Okay? Yes. because as a special education student in the United States of America, doesn't matter if he's in Tulsa, Tennessee, or Texas, it don't matter. As a special ed student, he will get an IEP. He has a right to a free and appropriate public education in a least restrictive environment. He can get his IEP. He can get his one-to-one aid. He can get his speech therapy. He can get so much more in that school than you could provide him with at home.
Yes.
So I vote that you get him in school before Thanksgiving. Okay,
yes.
So
and that is my thing. I am going to do that, and not to interrupt you. And also, I know that I'm not really looking at I'm on the phone with you, so I can't really see. But I do want to give context to people who are listening. I am a single mom. I'm doing it by myself, so I'm really trying new things. So I don't know if anybody's judging or not, but just
don't worry about nobody judging. This is between you and God.
I'm just really doing what I think I should do for
yes,
my
ma'am.
And I'm
yes,
just
ma'am.
trying things out. So
yes, ma'am.
You know.
The reason I say we need to get them in school, Queen, because I've seen nightmare stories with children who had no disability, where the parents had them at home and, tried some things we understand. And a couple years go by and time goes by so fast. The parent is like, wait a minute, I really haven't given them the foundation they needed academically. Let me go stick them back in public school or charter school. And by the time they get stuck back in public school and charter school, they so far behind, you almost got to put them in special ed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so with your son having an obvious disability there, I really am concerned about him staying home too soon or too long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I did notice that, and like I said, he was doing therapy. He was doing really, really well. They actually helped him start talking when he was in ABA therapy. But I was like, okay, he's doing so well. Maybe I can stick him back in school for a little bit. And it didn't turn out that way. And now that I'm seeing he's been out for maybe a month or so, I'm like, okay, I got to put him back in school so he can not go backwards. So I agree with that. I am going to Monday morning go. I was thinking about it last week and I was like, well, let me wait because I'm just really, it's really not a lot of help here. And I don't want to sound like, wrong or nothing, but we in a white school district, white people around here. And, I feel like they kind of look at me kind of differently. Being
That's okay because guess what, Queen? Guess what? Once you put him in that school, you're going to stay in touch with me. I'm going to help walk you through this whole thing. And if they start discriminating against your son, we're going to find a lawyer and we're going to sue him for racial discrimination. And because the school is predominantly white, they will not be able to defend themselves against those accusations. So you're just going to have to take good notes, document everything. Okay, write down everything, whether that's in your phone, whether you do voice notes to yourself. Keep a record of everything. And once we feel like we've had enough, we're going to make a complaint with the United States Department of Education, Office of Civil Rights, and tell them that your son has been racially profiled. They're discriminating against him. They're not providing him with his free and appropriate public education. And we're going to get you some money and we're going to make them pay for your son to go to a private school because that's what federal special ed law allows. But you're going to have to toughen your skin up because they're going to piss you off. They're going to be kind of disrespectful. Don't react. Don't get emotional. Document it. But we cannot not put him in there, you know what I mean, because we're afraid for how they're going to treat him. Let them show their hand, and then we'll deal with it as a result of that.
Okay, I want to ask one more thing.
Sure.
And I did mention this to the school district when I called them last week about me wanting to go ahead and put them back in school or just kind of give them a heads up. And so they suggested, okay, well, maybe we can put them in part-time. What do you think? And I was like, well, honestly, I want to put them in full-time to give them a chance to actually do
Yes, full-time. They cannot make you do part-time. He has a disability. They cannot make you do part-time. They cannot.
Okay, that was my question. I don't want to let them influence me to do one thing or another, even though
they
know
can't.
They can, but they will try to say certain things like, well, maybe you should do such and such, so, okay.
And guess what? Whenever you have a question about something, you text it to me. If they send you a form or something they want you to sign and you're not sure what they're doing, you text it to me. You feel me? You have the freedom to text me anytime at all. And if we got to jump on the phone, you text me on that as well.
I appreciate that.
No problem.
So that was my question. Thank you, Dr. UMAR. I really appreciate you.
Appreciate you, my queen. Appreciate you. All right now.